This is the Nutty Knife Guy. Kind of an extra video. Everybody is, stuck at home, and I guess even in this electronic age, people are bored. So if you're a knife person, maybe I will give you 20 minutes or so of entertainment. This is just kind of something that I thought about before. It's a knife that I've had for a long time, and there are a lot of reviews on it already, but I couldn't find one last night when I was thinking about this that actually showed the knife being used for what it's intended for. So I'm hoping mine will. What I am talking about is the Cold Steel Hideout. Cold Steel Hideout. It is a last-ditch personal protection knife. It's really not good for anything else. Although, I was into throwing knives, I'm thinking that this would be a pretty good thrower, especially if you use the no spin. This summer, I think I'm going to try and work on learning the no spin skill, and maybe I'll give you guys a few laughs and let you watch me screw up. But anyway, what we have here is a last-ditch knife. You're out of ammo. Your knife is broken. Your other knife is lost. And there's one zombie left. That's what this is for. This is Oz 8 steel. It's got a nice rubber grip. Scandi grind, so very tough. You'll see I did take it out to the war post. You'll see this footage. They're not going to be a wrap-up because it's sunny out there now, but by evening we were supposed to get rain, so I decided to run out there and film the outside stuff before the weather turned. So I've already been out to the war post with this, and you'll see that footage. But now, it is difficult to do my normal thing for the people who watch my stuff before, because this is a completely different type of knife than I've done before, because it is just a holdout knife. But I did wrap it up against wood, and you can feel this bite your hand a little bit because it's very small and will kind of move around a little bit. But in a personal protection situation where there is a lizard man zombie ninja and he's got you on the ropes and you've got to fight your way out, this can be a bad day for anybody. Now, my personal opinion, and I said it, I'll say it again, you'll see, but is this thing shines in the reverse grip. Of course, always cap the knife so it doesn't slide down your hand. Now, this has a pretty good flare for a handle guard for a knife this size, but still, if you could very easily come down and cut yourself on your own blade, that would be bad. So always cap the knife, even if you have a big guard. My thing is, if you can't cap the knife with your thumb, cap the knife with your thumb. But you'll see, I was out there stabbing, and it held up. Now, as I said, I have this knife for a while, and I used to carry it as a neck knife quite a bit. I practiced with it quite a bit because it was an EDC thing. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I'll have to splice this together. All day, the house is quiet as a tomb. I try to film, and everybody starts making noise. Anyway, I've had this for a while, and you can see that it's not as pointy as when it came because I did sharpen it a lot. But as a neck knife, I think this is probably one of the best, personal protection neck knives out there. And you'll see. Now, Again, in my personal opinion, where this thing would shine in a personal protection if you're going to stab and slash back or rip back. I mean, that would be a really bad day. Get under the armpit, pull back, yikes. In a personal protection situation, not offensively, this is theoretical. For instance, if there's a lizard man zombie ninja coming after you. If it's legal to carry that way, our knife laws here in Ohio are kind of vague. They're in the process of trying to straighten them out. But I started thinking that carrying this as a neck knife under my shirt might not be a good thing if I got pulled over or something and had this on me. So I decided to err on the side of caution and stop carrying it that way. But if it's legal, right, or somewhere you can just carry it openly as a last-ditch personal protection tool, this will work nicely. Now, it comes with the standards cold steel Secure X sheath. It is very secure. It's not going anywhere. It's got the little lashing bits. I wouldn't call this MOLLE compatible, but you could find different ways to carry this thing. An excellent rubberized grip. Really good this way. Now, you could get away with, the standard, maybe a handshake grip or saber grip on this thing. But honestly, it's got a little thing, got little markings here, I guess. It might be just stylistic, but if you put your thumb there and use this in the credit card grip, like you're handing a credit card to someone, this thing would be good. You can't slash with it, but again, if you go sewing machine on somebody with this thing, it'll be, as I said, a bad day for anybody. Now, you're going to go see me out there dealing with hostile enemy detergent bottles full of water. And you'll see what I mean then, but I've got him here with me. Now, one of these I primarily slashed and got some pretty decent cuts in, but where this thing really goes nuts is the sewing machine. I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see these things. And get this back out. Now, I wasn't doing the twisting thing to get that hourglass shaped wound, but the thing is, you get deep penetration with this. And on a couple of these, let me see if I can find one. This one, because just in the process of getting it out, it wiggles. So you get a pretty decent wound channel there. Here's another example of that, where just the withdrawal stroke brought it out. Now the thing about this is, most generally it is preferable to stab and twist if you're in a personal protection situation to really open up that wound. Really hard to do that with this one because the handle is so skinny. It's hard to get that twisting motion. But it makes up for it in penetration. You'll see out there too that at one point when I really got a deliberate thrust in there, it went all the way up here. And it actually took a bit of work to get this out of the bottle. So, I mean, this is a stabber. This is a very stabby knife. You keep the edges sharp for when you do that stabbing motion, and there's a few of them in here that I did that with. I think I did it primarily on this other bottle. Let's see, where's the best example of this? You can see here that the blade went in this way and then came out like so. And you can imagine that in the flesh of a Lizard Man Zombie Ninja. So, let's see, I think there's maybe another one in here that'll prove that a little bit. This one I didn't bring through, but now bear in mind, these are pretty thick detergent. These detergent bottles are thick. They're not like the flimsy little water bottles. So you can imagine what that would do to, you know, a Lizard Man Zombie Ninja who is attacking you and yours and must be stopped. So, I mean, it's cold steel. So I have never been disappointed with a cold steel product. And I have a lot of them. I've got this. I've got their mini tack. I've got their GI Tonto. I've got their Kukri machete. I've got their Trench Hawk. I've got their Marauder. And I've got a few more. I think I've got a few more cold steel in my collection. Never been disappointed in them. But as I said, the videos that I saw in this one, and I'm not knocking the way they do their videos, but I think what I did illustrates really what this thing is intended for. So, do I recommend it? Yeah, absolutely. If the Ohio legislature gets their act together and passes bill, I think it's don't quote me on this, but I think it's Ohio Bill HB 140. But anyway, there is a thing where they're getting their act together and taking these silly knife laws that are way open to interpretation and narrowing them down to basically saying that if you don't use it if you don't use it to commit a crime, you can carry it, and even if it's concealed. Now that's not legalese. I'm not a lawyer, but as I understand it, that's the gist of it. And if they do that, I'll go back to carrying this every day. So, with that, I leave you with my normal admonishment. 2, draw your knives only in just purpose. Sheathe them only with honor. And to remember that without knives, life would be dull and pointless. I may decide to do another quarantine video in the next couple of days. I may not. We'll just have to see. But I had the weather, I had the time, and I was thinking about this thing last night when I was fondling my collection and thought I'd put my 2 cents in. Like, share, and subscribe if you have a mind. I really appreciate it if you do that. I bid you goodbye. Okay. All right, folks, we're out at the war post with the Cold Steel Hideout. Now, the drill out here is going to be a little different because this is a very different kind of knife. It is a hideout. It's a last ditch thing. So I'm not going to be going at it as hard because it's got a nice grip on it, but it's narrow. I'm going to be using it in a credit card grip instead of holding the blade this way. I'll be holding it more like you're handing somebody a credit card, and they'll be doing reverse grip. I'm not going to be going real hard because you're not going to need to with this. All right. So here we go. War post first, and then we'll see if we can't do some damage to some bottles. One last check to make sure this is in frame. Okay. Okay, now honestly, that really didn't prove anything with this. This is a thick piece of AUS 8 steel, AUS 8 steel. It's got a Scandi grind, so it's durable. And when you can, but you can slash with it. It's really made to do this. Like the sewing machine would be lethal with this, but I think its best use is in the reverse grip. Okay. I mean, I've had this knife for a few years. I used to carry it daily as a neck knife, so you can see it actually needs cleaning. But and that's why the tip isn't so acute, because it has been sharpened a few times. But you can see this is the last ditch knife, but this way it can be just really bad. I couldn't show you too much on the wood there, but this thing is for slashing and ripping, in my opinion. So we'll go see how it does with the water bottles. See if I can get one to go through both sides of this. And the blade's not quite long enough, but it went in all the way up to the guard, and I'm having a little trouble getting it out. Now, but I think where this thing would be really damaging is a slash and rip. Stab it in and rip it out. So we'll see if we can't do that with this other bottle. And now when we get downstairs, I'll show you these bottles up close. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's through the corner of these bottles, and these are detergent bottles. These are thick bottles. It does bite your hand a little bit when you do that, but you're going to have more problem ripping through this than you would a Lizard Man Zombie Ninja. Right. Now, this has absolutely no value as anything but a personal protection tool. So we're not going to try and carve anything with it. But I thought I'd come out and show you. For the grip, as being little as it is actually quite secure, even when you're not in the reverse grip. The credit card grip is very nice with this. You could probably get away with this. While you can't cut with it, the reason you keep this sharp is that ripping motion, in my opinion. It got wet from the water in the bottles, and it still didn't slip in my hand. Not going to be a wrap up really downstairs, I guess. The wrap up is going to be at the beginning of this video, because it's going to rain later today and I wanted to come out here and film before the weather turned. So instead of doing an introduction, a demonstration, and a wrap up, I'm just going to tell you about the wrap up in the introduction, and then you can watch this thing go to town. So we'll see you.